Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Shino. I just finished episode 7. Just hung up the phone with you. If you want me to say it that way, I guess. But we're going to go on to episode 8. We didn't get near as much stuff done as I wanted to in episode 7. And that's primarily because I went on a little exploration. Kind of wanted to get away, getting a little stir crazy, being in this area. Had to get away from the wolf for a little bit. Right at the end of the episode, looked over and there, just stood up right there in my crosshairs. It's howling. So getting a little tired of having a wolf right there in that area. Got to do something about that, but we got to make some tools. So I took the molds that we had made in episode 6, or maybe between episode 6. Remember, but put those down in the fire pit to start cooking. Just checked, and our charcoal's done. What we had in the fire pit was a cooking pot and some bowls. And so what we are going to do here pretty quick is I want to demonstrate some of the cooking. So I saved 6 pieces of meat here. So I'm going to put this there. We'll put this clay pot. This is called a cooking pot. We're going to put that in there, and we're going to take these 6 pieces of meat, and we are going to split 1, 3, and 3. So in when you're doing your cooking, you need to make sure that you have equal amounts in each spot. So you could do, if you wanted to, you could do 1 and 1, 1 and 1 and 1, and do it that way. But what you can't do is you can't do 2 of that, 1 of those. See how that doesn't register right. So you need to put an equal amount in each slot. Now you don't have to use every slot, but you do have to use the first 2 slots to make a meal. So as you can see right now, that if I were to cook this, it would make 2 servings of red meat stew. And I'm going to go ahead and put all 3 in there. Just 3 servings of stew meat there. And then the only thing left we have to do is to fire this up. So I am going to do that. Oh, we may have to add a little more firewood. I don't like using firewood all that often, except for certain things. I will try to use other heat sources. Brown coal is something that I absolutely love to use because you can find a ton of it. It lasts a good long time. It's very efficient. It's not the most efficient, but for cooking food, it works great. You'll see that this is going to have to get to a certain temperature before it'll finish up. And so each piece of wood as it's burning through, it's raising the temperature on there. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. It looks like we will probably need 1 more piece, but I want to be efficient with my wood as I possibly can. If I need to, I can actually use other items to burn. You know, some sticks, grass, these vine pieces will work in a pinch. All right, that should be just about done. Now, when this is done, you'll hear it stop bubbling. See how the lid's moving? It's done. There you go. See, it stopped. And now you'll see over here, it now have a pot of cooked food. This is a way of combining resources, food items into a singular meal that's going to be much more nutritious for you. So I'm just going to demonstrate here. Grab to get the food out of there. You're going to need one of these bowls, and you right click it, and you right click where it says take food, and it will give you 1 serving. So if I set this down here, you'll see I have 1 serving of red meat stew, and it has 840 saturation on the protein. If you look here, this is 200. This is just cooked red meat, and it's 280 saturation on the protein. So I put 3 in there, and so 2 pieces of raw red meat becomes 1 serving of the red meat stew. And so if you were to take and look at it and say, well, if I did 2 of those, that would be 560 on the saturation. If you look here, this is 840. So when you're talking about your food and your diet, this is going to fill your saturation bar, which again, that's your calories, how many calories you have stored up. It's going to fill up a lot more of that. So this will, 1 bite of this, 1 nom, is going to fill my bar up. So here we go. Nope, all done. Now I'm going to put this back down, and we're going to look at the result of it. So you see now I only use 0.8 servings. So that's another thing about it. It doesn't let you over consume the resources. If I were to try to eat this cooked red meat right now, it would let me. It would go ahead and let me use that whole 280 saturation, and it wouldn't do anything for it. So the cooked meals are definitely where you want to get to as quickly as possible. You can mix in your vegetables, and you're going to see me doing several different recipes. We're going to get into more and more of that as soon as we can. This is also a way to store meat or to store food longer. If it doesn't say how long it'll last right now because it's still cooling down, but food will last a certain period of time in cooler temperatures. Won't last as long in warmer temperatures. So if you're in the desert, food will rot quicker than it would be if you are in a winter area. We can do the same, kind of cause the same effect by burying our food deeper underground and make it last long. So, okay, enough of that. Do I have a... Do not. Okay, so it looks like I got several tools to make. All right, so let's do that. Need lint. Go. And we're going to need a axe yet again. Going to devil head. Snap these up. We are very close to having our tools together. We're going. What I'm getting ready to do right now is, after I make these tools up, I want to dig this clay out, get a clay pick, or not clay. Dig this charcoal out, then get another charcoal pit going. Gonna need that charcoal here. Metals, and then we're gonna make a crucible. And get it fired up. And actually, as I say that, that sounds ridiculous. I think we got a crucible. Yeah. Okay, so let's do that. Play. Oof. All right. So again, clay forming, and I'm not going to do too much really for doing the crucible. Pixels on. But remember, what I usually do is we're going to actually, you know what, we're going to go ahead and do 4 crucibles. That's going to be more efficient. Yeah, that's going to be more efficient anyway. Alrighty, so I'm just going to come in here and now going to again. You didn't see that. Well, maybe you did. Let's see. Then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fill it in. We're still on the 3x3 grid. it just, for me, it kind of makes sense to do it that way, swapping back and forth. Copy, paste. Yep. And then this does not have one in the center. You can do it one at a time if what I ended up doing that long. If you're able to fill it in with the 3x3, then you can just knock out the single one. Done. All right. And the reason I kind of changed my mind on that is, 20 hours for the fire pit to go. And about the same amount for charcoal, but we're going to want to get going as quickly as possible. Wolf hadn't got any closer. Still sitting over there. Pardon me. Right. Shift key, place them in. And it's not a waste. You'll need these as we get further and further in to the game. You'll find yourself mixing up lots of metals and alloys, so having them available is not a bad thing. Drop my dirt off. Can I go? And just as a reminder, reason I put this dirt up over the top of it is because rain can put the fire out. So. Okay. All right. So, we are going to, thing we're going to do is make our tools. Let's grab our shovel. Take this wood off here to the side for now. Here we go. All right. Next thing we're going to need is our axe head. With that. Wait, probably just cook that one up. And we are now going to cut some more firewood. Charcoal is, early game, it is something that I usually try to keep a lot handy. Primarily being that until you're able to start getting underground consistently and able to start mining resources. It's about the best thing that you have available for melting your metals. So keep that in mind. Always try to keep a little bit on hand. Try to keep some going. I was watching somebody play one time, and they were like, "Well, I'm running out of places to keep my charcoal at because they had so much." And that is a great problem to have. It really is. You'll see once we get over to our permanent area and we start setting up, you'll see how I do it. So I don't have to worry about it. Okay. Another clay pit going. So let's just do a quick review what we have. We have wolf. Can't believe that. Oh, I did when I was exploring. I don't know if I marked it or not. Yeah, wolf pack. Holy cow! So I got up here and I came back off from along the water's edge, and I moved up around this entire lake right here, just kind of to see what was available along the edge of it. Ran over to pretty sure I mentioned I found a luxury trader. Yeah, he's way down over here. This is not a fun area by any scope of the imagination. Hard to move around through. These areas are kind of fun as far as for finding resources. You can grab a lot of seashells if you're a lot of seashells in these. Anyways, I think I came up to look at this spot right here because I thought that might have been a meteor strike area. We haven't talked about meteors yet. We will when we find one. But anyway, so I came over this area, walked back through here, came back along through here, right along the edge of this lake. Got back over here to the agricultural trader, and I was looking at the map, I saw this area. Now, you heard me say I like gravel areas, right? So I wanted to come up here and start looking for resources and kind of scoping some things out and seeing, if I could find something I might need for later. Anyways, I digress. Came along here, went to go check out this area here. I don't know, it was maybe right in here. And I kid you not, I think there were 6 wolves right there on the other side of this little ruin right here. Made me pucker. I'm sorry if I offended anybody, but holy cow, I didn't want to see that. Didn't want to get involved in that. Did not want to have my face cut open, so I backed out slowly and made my way back around. I was like, nope, enough's enough on that one. I ain't going to do that one anymore. And this is a very hard area to traverse. These are big, deep valleys. You can see how dark that coloration, that striation is there. That indicates a steep cliff face, and it is very hard to move around in there. So end up making my way. I think I came down this way and then came around like this. Was sitting there the whole time running, taking a look in my 6, making sure I didn't have wolves on my tail. Did not like it. I wanted to go see what this was. I see this line right here, and I've never seen a line like that in the map. So I'm really curious to see what that is. I know this is a ruin of some sort, and so I would like to check and see what it is too. But that was kind of, no one was, but we're going to save that one for another time in another place. Don't want to get too involved in that. Okay. So that's kind of a recap of where we are. So we really can't really do much anything else until these are finished cooking. And it looks like it's almost 11 o'clock. Sleep. Make our tools. Just making our tools. Did a much better job of gathering up sticks. I think I even have some more in here. Grabbed them already. Anyways, got a stack of 64 sticks there. 7 more. I'm going to put these pine cones. I'm not going to plant these pine cones. I'm going to gather up some stuff to take with me. Go ahead and plant and cook that piece of meat. And we're going to just try with just one. So it is it's August 2nd when I'm recording this. I started releasing the first video, episode 1 released on August 1st. And like I'd mentioned, I'm going to try to record 3 videos, or not record, but I'm going to try to produce 3 videos a week and release them. We had an issue with episode 2. and I couldn't figure it out, and I had to get with my son, and my son was able to make it upload correctly for me. So we released episode 1 on August 1st, and then episode 2 wasn't supposed to come out until the Wednesday, so tomorrow. But we couldn't get the timing on it to work. Not sure exactly what it was. He's much smarter at that stuff than me. But he came back and he said, "Dad, I got it to upload, but I wasn't able to set the timer on it, so I just went ahead and marked it for release." We actually released 2 episodes on Sunday. And so the episode 3 is slated to come out on Saturday. And of course today is Monday that I'm recording episode 8 here. So got a little bit of a backlog of videos going, which is good. I want to try to keep that going. So if you see me doing something and you leave a comment in one of the earlier videos saying, "Hey, stupid, you're doing something wrong, or you should be doing this," thank you for the feedback. And if you see me continue to do it in the next episode, of course that's why. And I don't think anybody is shocked by any of that. I think every content creator does the exact same thing. Works ahead of the schedule because you don't know what's going to happen as far as needing to take time off to be with family or because of an illness, especially in these days where we're dealing with the COVID pandemic. It's important that you do everything. You take the precautions. So I'm not going to get political on it. I'm just going to tell everybody, hey, be safe. Do what you think is best for you and your family. My wife's aunt passed away from complications from COVID. Both her parents had COVID and were hospitalized for an extended period of time. Somebody that I worked with at another facility, they died from complications of COVID. So it's very real. Where I live at right now, we have more people contracting COVID, the Delta variant, than we did last summer. And when COVID was first out and we didn't have a vaccine. So that's kind of a startling revelation that I kind of fell upon. I was like, wow, that's kind of a scary, something scary to think about. So best to you and your family. You hear me coughing. No, I don't have COVID. Yes, I am vaccinated. My wife and I actually went and got a vaccine back in June when we first got available to be able to take it. So we feel very good about that. So, and we're very happy. And we have a daughter who has special needs, and she won't wear a mask. So we limit our contact with the outside world as much as possible for her. We don't want to bring stuff in. So, we plan one day a week to go down to buy groceries and bills and that kind of stuff. And then when we do go into town, we're still wearing a mask just to be on the safe side. So urge everyone to stay as safe as possible. All right, so this up. Look at our inventory. I'm going to get out of our inventory. A good amount of wood gathering going on, so that's a good thing. It looks like we have 2 stacks of wood there, 3 stacks of wood there, at least 1 stack of. Nope, not quite 1 stack here. Maybe so. Maybe it is 1 stack of wood that we have there. Yep, we do. Okay. So that's good. And 14 charcoal. I'm going to put the charcoal in here for now. So if you, let's do a little side-by-side comparison here. You're looking at your foods, your fuel sources. So you'll see the burning temperature. That's a maximum burn range. So for wood, it's 700. Charcoal is 1300, and for copper to melt, you need to get it to 1084. So charcoal is going to be what you're going to need to actually get it that high. You don't need, for melting tin, you don't need to get that high. But since we're going to be combining these into an alloy, we're going to have to get the entire alloy mix up to that 1084 range to get it to mix. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your alloys. So firewood is good. Now what I'll usually end up doing is save my charcoal, is take a couple pieces of firewood, put it in the fire pit, just to get the crucible up to temperature, and then I'll swap out for the charcoal. All right, and let's see how we got. Now we're getting pretty close. I think all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do a little bit of organizing here. I'm trying to get seeds and whatnot all together. And want to look. Yep. All right. So looks like our pelt is now formed. So let's take a look. We're gonna hover over that, hit the H. So what we did a few days ago is we actually we rubbed that down with a piece of fat, put it into a basket and let it cure. And so that's what's called an oiled hide. And so we want to do that because we want to make this hunter's backpack. I think if we've got enough reeds, we're going to make this hunter's backpack. So let's do not have enough reeds. Okay. All right, so we'll definitely have to gather up some reeds. Good thing we need some knives. All right. Okay, folks, I'm going to call it here. Thanks for joining me. This has been episode 8 of the Vintage Story playthrough. Thank you so much for spending time with me, for watching these episodes, for your feedback, for your encouragement. Actually, nice to see it was a like that I had on the first video. So sure, one of my friends was there and watching, and it's giving me just encouragement. So thank you so much for that. I asked my family to watch it, and I don't think anybody's watched it yet or given me a like. So from my kids, boo-hoo, right? No big deal. Anyways, I'm doing these videos because I enjoy this game. I enjoy the community. I enjoy the content, the creators, the other content creators of Vintage Story, like Hypnotic, Emerald Stars, Papa Cheddar, all of those. Absolutely fantastic, wonderful people. I still enjoy watching them, learning from them as much as I possibly can. That's going to do it for this episode, episode 8. Thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button on the video. Give it a thumbs up. Click the notifications so that you can get notified when the other videos drop. Again, Sunday, Wednesday, and Saturday is going to be a publishing sequence going forward. And I usually do it about Chicago time, about 5 a.m. So, thank you so much. We will see you next time. Take care.